3. And now running right through it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Back to throw here. And he's got some space here. And a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago. 11 carries, 116 yards.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game. So now he's hoping that helps establish a rhythm. And maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
When the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there, it doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
Let's go!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Watch 16. Watch it now. Detroit. Let's go. 3-19. All right, now, look at 56.
On play action, they'll throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he comes back with one complete. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. Able to get outside the pocket and complete the pass.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But that was a beautifully executed screen pass. He let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, with big guys leading the way.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Giants.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
And he puts it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And he'll take it out to the 25. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet at the 22-yard line.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the mid.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Franklin. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And when you've got the 31st ranked rush offense in the NFL, you're going to see a few of these negative plays.
Yeah, and I don't want to be snarky about the whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. We've seen a bunch of those this season.
Let's go. All right, now look at 56. Leopard. All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They do a double team, and it's intercepted. picked up by the Michigan man. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this belongs to the Vikings. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Tyler. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability. And
it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Daniil Hunter able to get in there and drop him behind the line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Pass interference. Offense.
Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Over! Watch it now, buddy. No. Check, Patriots!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be run over. Hit hard as he'll be marked down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back.
But that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They needed 15. They got 15. And a good mark to boot. It's first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
On second down, there's the option going left. And a big hit. Knocked down sideways. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if something got there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hansen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, he's got him in the lead. And now out come the Giants. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Giants on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
All right, now look at the
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
He'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A big play there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. He'll drop to throw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Time for a break. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set. fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.